It's like twice you've used that word this week.
It's from Here Comes the Boom.
Yes,
Kevin James.
classic movie.
That's pretty funny.
I don't care if I'm lethargic.
What's that mean?
It means that you're just drained.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. I know I've heard it before, but I'm like,
yeah. It's
when you like
my general state.
When someone says something and you just kind of nod, like you know what they're talking about, but you really don't. Yeah, that was where I was at with that. So I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I'm glad I could educate you.
Hey,
today.
appreciate it, man. We're all about growing here.
We're all about being lethargic.
I'm trying to ungrow.
Yes, that's. We'll check in on that this episode as well, seeing how we're doing with our challenges to each other. Tyler, how you doing? Good talk. Just the deep breath. That's all we get is just.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Man, a few words.
He's going to be on top of it today.
It's going to go right along with what we're talking about. So,
yeah, it will.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Almost Brothers podcast. On today's episode, we're talking about effective communication.
Emphasis on effective.
Exactly.
In parentheses.
Yes. We could all in parentheses, group chat etiquette. We will talk about that because my goodness gracious. What really goes on?
Air quotes.
Air quotes. Wait, what?
The opposite of effective.
What? You can't just throw air quotes anywhere. What are you doing?
It's in the Geneva Convention.
Oh, so Rich, how you doing today?
I'm good. I went to the chiropractor for the first time ever in my entire 47 years of existence.
It was a good time, wasn't it?
It was weird to have a grown man just like popping everything that
manhandling
ain't
you.
supposed to be popped.
Do you feel better though?
I think.
Or
I gotta come back multiple times.
Yeah.
He said I'm all out of whack. So
and aren't we all?
You do start to feel better over time. When I hurt my back last time, it took me, I had to go 5 or 6 times, and it's like a slow progression.
Yeah.
Over the first few weeks.
Yeah, that's
but
what he said. He did. I had to give Mike Simmons his props. The chiropractor did tell me that men should not carry their wallets in their back pockets.
I'm telling you.
So that is medically sound advice now from a doctor of chiropractic medicine.
Well, that's because I've got real bad sciatic nerve pain, and when I stopped doing that, like all that, like as many times as I felt that pain, it was like cut in half.
Yeah,
you would think that little ½ inch of material in your back pocket wouldn't matter, but I guess it just makes you out of whack just enough to where it over time it really affects you.
Oh yeah. Well, Tata, how you doing?
I could go for a nap right now.
I know, man.
I am actually feeling lethargic.
Yeah. Done 8. Now you're ready for a nap.
Yep.
No nappy poo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I slept decently last night, so I don't need a nap right now, man. I'm feeling pretty good.
I didn't sleep good at all.
The night before was terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I was up late.
Was good.
I was up late talking to Tristan, my son, and then
what's up, Tristan? Shout out
to Tristan.
Big ups.
Big ups.
He doesn't listen, but shout out anyway.
Dirty T. What's he call himself?
Dorky T. He's Daddy T is what he calls himself.
Oh gosh, I would never call him that.
Not ever. But then at 5 o'clock this morning, our dog Bella woke me up at the back door. So
fun.
It's good times.
Yes, so let's talk about effective communication. I know I was thinking about this the other day with just in a marriage, how important this is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're frustrated, like being able to communicate your frustrations in an effective way, because effective communication is so hard to do,
right?
Because you come kind of with an attitude
well, that's where you got to start is you can't come in screaming. I guess the first thing is to keep your voices down, and that's the worst possible way to start a conversation is with a screaming match, because it ain't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
Man, it's hard for me because I've got a loud voice anyway.
You do.
So it's like
carry.
when I'm talking and even at a normal voice, it seems like I'm. See, exactly. That's what I get. Like, why are you so upset? It's like, I'm not. I'm talking normally.
And then you get excited and you get louder. Yeah.
Yes. And it gets to where I'm loud without even screaming.
Right.
And it's like, I'm not screaming. I promise you I'm not. I can get louder than this.
Easy, my ears are starting to hurt. I think the quality of how you communicate is probably can make or break communication.
Yeah. Yep. And knowing this is number when I talk to people specifically about like preaching to a group of people, I'll try to help certain people that, hey, can you help me better communicate when I'm preaching? Number one is like, know your audience.
Yeah.
Know how to say what you need to say in a way that they can receive it.
Right.
That almost had like
little thing to it. Write that down.
Yeah, write that down. Because you could say something good, but the way you say it not be received by the people you're trying to speak to, and it goes over their head, or it's like, it's too dumbed down to where they're like that you're almost insulted, that at the way that you're talking to them. So knowing your audience and who you're talking to and how to communicate to them.
Yeah, Jennifer's bad about that. Like the simple word "what."
Mm-hmm.
You can say the word "what."
Oh, this is good. Yes.
And mean it in 13 different ways.
Yeah.
And she's bad about when you're talking to her, she'll just be like, "What?" Like, dang.
Yeah.
I just was going to tell you that you're on fire. But
might want to put that out. But since you got an attitude, you know what?
But it
crank the heat up in here.
It's exactly what it is effective communication. It's paying attention to the tone of how you're responding to a simple question, and the word yes and no, same thing, depending on your tone, can have multiple meanings.
Yeah, that's really good.
Write that down.
Write that down, man. That is good. Yeah, because there was one time I had to go to my sister, and it was her husband at the time, and I had to apologize to him. And I'm like, I'm sorry, not for what I said, but I'm sorry for the way I said it, the approach I took. I was very, very angry, and it had something to do with Jamie. So anytime somebody messes with her, I kind of get very defensive.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it that way. Now, what I said was correct, but, I just, the way I came about it was all wrong. So, I had to learn from that situation. Like, there's better ways to approach this and to talk to people, What do y'all do when your wives kind of come in? I'm a very quick, I match whatever you bring to me. I'm matching your energy. Like, if you're coming at me hot, I very easily throw that. Okay, I was gonna come as good as I could, and just like, man, give you good communicate. And it's like, nope. Okay, now it's time to raise the level a little bit.
Yeah.
What do y'all do in that case? So y'all kind of like, boy, it's tough.
Well, because there's been a few times that's happened, I'll kind of be like, slow down real quick. Hold up. What? Like, it could have been like something. It could have been something Liv thought she had told me but forgot, or something she did tell me and I forgot.
Yeah.
And I would be like, listen, regardless of like, easy.
Yeah.
Like just like, that's too much. I was like, I don't know. I try to like pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing I want to get better at is just like, hold up, let's start over.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start over because we're already starting out. But instead, I just go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Olivia is the same way as Mike. She gets excited and gets loud,
but she's also the same in regards if I come at her like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm that person that I'm going to tell on myself, but when I realize I'm wrong, but I'm not ready to admit it, I'll notch up that boy. I'll start getting real loud then, and then I have to end up apologizing anyway. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've seen like the meme videos where it's like, they realize they're wrong in the middle of the conversation and they're just like nodding and it's like, yeah, I'm wrong. How do I get out of this?
Yeah. Yep. How do you backpedal and graciously say like, oh crap.
Or if they make a good point and it's like, yeah, you're right. You know what? And why is it so hard for us to do that?
I don't know.
Just as human, like it's hard to say, yeah, you know what? I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, there's a a few nights ago, me and Liv had an argument, and she was making some valid points, and I couldn't say nothing but no. Okay, because I was trying. I was really like the gears were turning. I was like, but she
had the receipts on.
Right, you're swinging and missing, and she's just jabbing at you like, oh man.
Listen,
Yep.
Listen, we don't need you making valid points out here.
Yep. And men, they tend to not let you forget. They'll make sure you remember that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Well, the good news is I'm not wrong very often, so.
Same.
Oh. That seemed biased. Yeah, and we've gotten a lot better because we've learned each other's how to communicate to each other a little bit better.
Right.
So I know, as the years go by, it makes it a little bit easier and a little bit smoother of a conversation, especially when it's a hard conversation. That's when it's really hard not to get emotional. When married couples talk about money,
right,
that usually becomes an emotional, scream fest,
right.
And we've gotten to the point where we try to stick with, we're going to talk this out. We're not, because I'm bad at, when I get mad, I'll just walk away and just and shut down for the day, and that's not helpful either. That doesn't accomplish anything. It makes things worse.
That's even though you're not communicating, that is still not effective communication. Yeah, you're not accomplishing anything by walking away from a conversation.
And it's like you're communicating that this isn't important enough for me to stay here and figure this out.
Right.
However, on the flip side, if it's a very emotional, very heated argument, there's nothing wrong with saying we need to table this for now.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Because communicating in that sense is probably just as ineffective as just trying to get out of the conversation.
Right. Yeah. And making sure you voice that before you just dip out.
Yeah.
And for me, it would be, I would just go in the other room, like we wouldn't talk for the rest of the day. Like I'm just out.
Well, Tyler's absolutely right. It gets to a point to where, write that down, Liv. It gets to a point to where you're not accomplishing anything.
Yeah.
You're just going back and forth and repeating the same things. And it's like, let's take a minute, calm down, and come back at this in a more rational way.
Yeah.
And women are very rational human beings as a whole.
So
we are
ready to close. It's been a good episode.
We are disassociating ourselves with Richard for the rest of the episode.
Oh man! Well, there goes all of our listeners.
This is where, because y'all know I'm very emotionally unavailable and detached.
You are
everything.
He's a cyborg.
That's where it comes in handy, because like you're talking about money, and that comes a pretty heated when I'm talking to Liv and it's pretty serious, I'm like, Liv, this is not I don't want to, or I want to. This is our bank account says we can't, or we can, or we have to. And we've had that agreement where when it comes to the financial decisions, that's kind of my area, and she trusts me to handle that because she's not good with money. And I try. I'm like, Liv, this is not like she'll want to do something. I'll be like, Liv, this isn't me saying I don't want to, or that I don't think we should. This is our bank account says we can't.
Right.
Yeah. As much as I hate saying no, I have to say no. We just can't, because I was thinking about if we, because anytime we talk about money, I have our budget in my head. I'm thinking about fixed income, or not fixed income.
That's a really bad place to store that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that's where I do all my math, because I'm bad at head math. What I'm saying is, like, I know all of our fixed expenses. I know our income, and I can kind of do that quick math and be like, okay, if whatever she's suggesting we do, I can kind of off the top of my head be like, yeah, like, until I actually look, I can be like, that's probably not going to be able to happen, or that's going to have to be we have to save up over time.
Right.
And I know we've talked about this before, is, finding the difference between have to have and want to have.
Oh yeah.
That's a big thing is we have to have this. Like, no, we don't. Well, we have to go here. No, we don't.
Yeah.
We really don't. We want to. Of course we want to, but finding that budget and communicate. It was so hard in a relationship to talk about money.
Oh, it's
tough, man.
Well, I mean, most marriages end because of finances.
Yep. And that's just where the arguments come from,
Well, I think that's what makes it a little easy in my marriage, because like I said, Liv's not great with money, and she hasn't had to really handle money. She went from living with her parents to she lived in her own apartment for 3 months, and then we moved in together, and I handled all the bills. So her having that level of trust and that inexperience of handling money makes it easier in that sense, because she trusts whatever decision or whatever I do with our finances, it's in our best interest, whether it turns out good or not.
And it's knowing your weaknesses, being able to say, hey, I'm not good at this.
Right. Well,
like you need to probably take this over.
Right. And Jennifer's bad with money too, but her thing is, and she does really good at finding sales when we need stuff. Her problem is, it's a sale, so she wants stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, we may use this in 2 years. We'll buy it in 2 years for the $10 that we're saving today.
Right.
I mean, it's not something we have to have. And wants and needs is something that we have really talked about recently, because we are on a budgeting track right now, trying to get our budget in order. And that's something that we've talked a lot about, is the difference between those two words, want and need, because there is a difference.
Yep.
There has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has to be something that you're willing to sit down and talk about.
Right.
Just has to. I mean, that's just part of it. Comes with it.
And to be as unemotionally attached to whatever it is you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I'm very passionate about our finances, but it's more than just opinions. It's a fact. Our bank account will not let us do this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's it's not me saying no. It's our bank account and our money saying no, we can't right now.
Yeah. And when you write it down in black and white, and you can show, look, this is what's going on, then there's no arguing that. This is what it is. We got $2 in the bank. We can't go out to eat.
Yeah. Yep. Well, switching gears, but still talking about effective communication.
Let's hear that transmission. We need to record that button.
Like.
Anyway,
second to third, right there.
Whoa! I don't know what you're driving.
No, like a future car, like a spaceship. Like, what's going on now? So, want to talk about group chat etiquette. This is a problem. Okay, this is an epidemic of people that don't know how to properly go throughout a group chat, and it's ruining our country.
I'm having Vietnam flashbacks right now.
Sorry, like
it's probably not that serious.
Yeah,
but.
See, this is what we're talking about with Michael getting loud.
I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, I felt like it. Yeah, this is a problem, and it needs to be fixed right now on our podcast. We're gonna fix the world's problems.
Fix the world. Yeah, we and I did it on purpose one night.
Oh my gosh, it was like 9:30 at night.
9:30 at night, and I
poking the group chat bear.
I texted our church group chat, which is like 9 guys, and they're talkers. And I just sent a random picture with a caption, and boy,
and I'm like, I think I was teaching that night,
and I put my phone on silent, went to bed,
and I'm driving home, and it's ding, 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 and I've got my watch on, so I'm just like driving, and just like, oh. My gosh. So I look down and I see Richard started it. So I call him and he's like giggling as soon as I called. And I'm like, why did you even get this started at 9:30 at night?
That's so funny.
Oh, yeah. It went on for an hour.
Yeah. And it really is a problem. Like, which with our jobs, we have a group chat with our employees.
Not me anymore.
Tyler got out of it. I don't know how he got out of it.
my new. She didn't make a new one with my new number.
Oh, that's right. You said that. Yeah.
I'll make sure
yeah,
to
when
bring
you
that
got-
up to her.
Yes. You should have brought that up in the meeting.
Like Tyler said, he didn't get the
Listen.
group chat message.
Listen,
Yes.
if it's important enough, Christy will text me.
But no, it'll be just, well, she sent out a reminder yesterday about our meeting last night.
Yeah.
Does that sound like that requires a
No.
response?
No, a simple read. Cool. Got it.
10 people.
It just
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yep. No need.
We'll be right back.
Well, hey there. This is Mike from the Almost Brothers podcast. We want to thank you for checking out this episode. We want to ask you, has this podcast encouraged you in any way and you would like to give back? Well, guess what? We have a way that you can do that. Okay, you could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the show so we can continue to put out good content and encourage you. So if you've got time, go down in the show notes and click on that support button that will take you to the page to where you can give back and help us to continue this thing. Back to the episode. And what drives me crazy is two people, and it happens in every group chat. If you're sitting and listening to this and going, no, it doesn't, you're one of those two people, okay? It happens in every group chat. You got two people that want to have a full-on conversation with one another, and we all have to come along for the ride.
Yeah. And I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, but Julie Thacker is one of those people.
Oh, my goodness.
She wants to talk about everything else that the text message wasn't even about.
It's like, hey, we're meeting at 6:00 tonight. Everybody bring your own drinks. Okay. I love Sprite. Cool. Thumbs up. Pray hands. Like, what is happening? Why does this have to happen? And then here comes mom. Hey, did y'all see the weather's supposed to get bad? It's like, what? Like, oh, man. I love you, mama.
Well, and text messages in general are...
She's going to be like, you always talk about me. Every time you're doing something, you always talk about me.
Stop doing stuff.
Well, I love
Stop
her.
doing stuff. Whatever you're doing, just stop it.
She's an important part of my life. I got to talk about
Yeah,
it. Okay.
but-
And Richard brought it up, so blame him.
I told you I was going to get crap for it. She'll probably hit me. But the text messages in general are an ineffective communication. Like you can't tell tone or context, or you can say something in a text message that you completely meant as innocent, and somebody takes it wrong because there's no tone.
Yeah. That one video where he's like, hey, you want to hang out tonight? Like,
That Key and Peele.
Yeah.
yeah, sounds good. Like, yeah, sounds good. And then like,
Do you even want me? Sure, I don't care.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't care.
Like, you don't care?
You want to go?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
now?
I do,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure, let's go.
Yeah. And it just gets out of hand.
Right.
But it like, and especially when it's something that doesn't need a response.
Oh, yeah.
Just read it. Okay, cool. If it's just information, not asking a
Right.
question, leave it be.
Yeah.
Or if you've got something that you want to text that person separately,
Right.
please, for the love of for the love of sanity for the rest of us, please, and especially when it's late at night. If it's past 7:00 at night, maybe don't message unless it's an absolute emergency.
That
on the
was
group chat.
important that I had to put out. It was about...
It was not at all. And this is and this is what Jamie tells me. Well, why don't you just silence the group chat? Because I'll as soon as I do that, I'll miss something
Right,
important.
right.
So I can't do that.
Right.
So I have to sit here and
miss
just
a prayer request or something
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Liv, well, I think Liv's at the point where anytime she's put in the group chat, whether there's been a message sent or not, she will silence it, because anytime, because we got a group chat with y'all and the rest of our running people.
Yeah.
We got a group chat with our community group from Liberty Hill. I think that's it. Both groups are pretty good about really, we're just putting information out,
Yeah.
asking the question, and that's really it. And so, or like the other day, yesterday when I asked y'all to come over, she's because I told her, I was like, she's like, what time are they all coming over? I said, Liv, you're in the group chat.
It's right there. All the
like-
information.
Yeah. So she'll ask me a question like, Liv, you're in.
You're
look
part
at
of
your
it.
phone.
And it was pretty straightforward. Like everybody's like, okay, we'll be there. I'll be there. Cool.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like awesome. It was pretty straightforward, but it's like just asking questions. Hey, did y'all catch that game last night? Yeah, I caught it. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was crazy. I came. It's like, do we all 19 people need to be a part of this conversation?
Well, that's what happened when last Friday we were going to get together and have dinner, and I just simply asked if if anybody had a problem with the weather.
Yeah,
it was at my house. I wasn't driving. Just want to know. Oh,
Jennifer,
everybody.
I do.
And
you're at the house, like
it's at our house.
There's two messages that were just not part of the conversation. Like,
and then it's just it went on for 15 messages and still didn't have an answer.
Well,
to
what's
the original
what's
question.
the weather look like? I don't know. I checked it earlier. Let me check again. What do you think? I don't know. We're okay. Today's better. What about tomorrow? Today's better for us. Like. Nobody answered the question. Are y'all good with tonight? Yeah, yes or no?
It was fun, and it all comes down to effective communication and courtesy, having courtesy for other people's time.
And I'm bad sometimes with text messaging in general, not even just group text messages. With not respond, I'm the opposite. So not responding when it probably needs a response.
Yep, you are.
I'm bad at that. Because I read the information, I take the information, I'm good to go. I don't need to respond.
But I need to know that you got the message.
I know, and it's Richard will be like, "Hey, man, appreciate you, love you so much." I'm like, "Man, that's awesome." And
read at 3:32 p.m.
Yeah.
I guess he hates me.
yeah.
And it's 7 p.m.
And it's usually I'll be doing something and I mean to get back, and I read it. It's on my watch. Usually that's what it is. I'll look, oh man, that's awesome. I'll text you back later and then completely forget. And then the next day he's like, hey, did you get my message last time? I'm like, crap. Yes. Thank you. That meant a lot, man. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
So much that I couldn't take 2 seconds.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know. I'm admitting. Okay. Dang, I'm admitting it.
Darn.
Jeez.
Darn diddy darn darn.
Well, back to what you're saying. So a courtesy thing, like pastors, for example, your phone's blowing up 75% of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, people like you,
dang,
you gotta have a sense of courtesy and understanding, like they're like the storms on Friday, our church got hit pretty hard, and then like the one Sunday we had all that snow and ice, and so each of those days I texted our pastor, said, hey, I know your phone's being blown up, just let me know when you have something you need from me, or something. Just like you don't have to respond, but if you got information, just let me know when you do.
Yeah. And that's good. That opens up that line of communication. Hey, if you got something for me, if not, you're good. Mm-hmm. Don't, to where you could read it and go, okay, cool. And then move on. Yeah. Yeah. Cause it is, especially on the days like that. That is something too, that even outside of a text message, like even people trying to kind of pull you all different directions 5 minutes before service starts. It's like this is the worst possible time. Right. And I try to stay. I'm usually one of the last ones to leave because I want to make myself available afterwards. So much easier for me to answer questions, pray for people, meet people afterwards than right before service.
And it's something that people should understand in church circles, that the pastor's trying to get himself in that right headspace and in that spirit led, what he's about to do. Yeah. So it's completely inconsiderate to take away your time from that.
And it's awesome when it's something like a praise report.
Right.
Like that helps get me pumped up beforehand. But if it's like a question that can kind of wait, like it's, oh, hey, next week we're doing this event, what do you think of this? Like, get with me afterwards, please. I'm already kind of running around, and that it's partially my fault because I do a lot of things kind of in the moment, last minute, and if I kind of cleared out my stuff and got stuff done, but usually every service there's something that needs fixed right before service to be able to have service run.
It's always a good thing that you make yourself available. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because people know that they can come to you.
Yeah.
It's 10 p.m. I bet he's up.
Yeah.
They just need to know that there needs to be limits.
Yep. Yeah, because I feel like that should almost be a
common sense thing.
You would think.
You would think, and if you don't know now you know. It's like, have that, just think for a second. Okay, Pastor Michael, he's pastoring a church. What do pastors do? I'll just wait till I see him.
Yeah, and it did. I try to. Sometimes, people, I got meetings and stuff like that afterwards, but yeah, it definitely is something to where, and I've got to do better during the week making myself available to get with people, because usually I fill that time with stuff at the church. I'm doing this, I'm going here, I'm meeting here, I'm teaching here, and I say yes a lot. And I know we've talked about this before, like the power of no and the power of deciding, but especially first starting out, kind of coming into, they were 7 months without a pastor, coming into something where we had to kind of get things going. There's not a lot you could say no to, because you kind of have to fill in gaps here and there, so I'm working on doing better during the week, making myself available for that. If somebody needs prayer, somebody needs to call, and people are opening up a lot more, which is such a good thing. Yeah. I'm getting messages and phone calls from people that aren't very open. They've been hurt before. They've been, been in religious circles where they've been hurt, so they don't really open themselves up, that are now, hey, Pastor, will you pray for me? I've got this going on. And like, they'll open up their heart, and it's That's like, awesome. This is so awesome.
That's effective communication.
Yes. And it's like, oh, it's so good. And I'm able to, during the week, minister and do my job. This is part of it, do my job and doing that. But knowing the right time and place to do that. Sure. And you do have a lot of people that do realize that. They're like, hey, Mike's one of them, our head deacon. He's like, hey, I'm not going to call you on a Monday unless it's an absolute emergency. Not going to do it. So if you got something, you can call me. I will not call you. And he just refuses to do it.
Right.
He'll wait till Tuesday. He'll get with me on Saturday. He'll any day but that day. Right. He knows that that's kind of the relaxed day. And he's so good at that. And I don't think he realizes how good at communicating with people he really is.
Right.
He's awesome. So good at it.
Well, that sounds like a good place to transition into how you're doing with your challenges.
Oh, yes. Not good. Next. Next. Now, my challenge from y'all for this year was to take my Mondays off. Mm-hmm. I get Saturday off. I get Monday off. Saturday's usually ball game day.
Event day.
Basketball, we had 6 straight weeks with a Saturday with games, with tournaments. So, not good. I still haven't had a Monday where I just did nothing, where I actually took it off. It's usually filled with other stuff. And I get it, like the home stuff, but a lot of it I feel with church stuff anyway. Right. Extra stuff that like, oh, I need to go do this. I need to straighten this up. I need to do this. And I've got to get better at taking that time off.
Right.
But not good. So next,
Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I've been able to get into the studio into my schedule.
Yep. That was the challenge to record.
So I'm working every Tuesday, a couple hours with a friend of mine.
Do you have an idea for a title? Maybe?
Not yet.
Okay.
Do you have an idea for a time frame?
No. It's been 3 weeks and we're not even finished with the first song.
Wow. It's so awesome, though, to think about, because I know you said you had a good amount written, just getting them recorded. That's
well, and it's nice because now it's giving, because I've only got 6 songs written.
Yeah.
So at least that gives me time to write more, which is another part that I'm struggling with because I'm so busy. I haven't written a song since January.
Yeah.
Like completed a song since January. And I was on a roll for a couple months.
I like to sit down with you and maybe help you with some songwriting.
It's just tough to because the songs I've written were finished because I had a couple hours where I sat in the bedroom or sat in the living room with my guitar.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. I'd love to do it because it's been a lot. For those of y'all that don't know, I put out a Christian hip hop album in high school in which I wrote.
It was Mikey Mike and the
Funky Bunch.
The Gospel Bunch.
That's right. But I haven't song written in a long time.
I've never written a song. I used to write like stories,
which is way different. I would figure than, like praise type of songs, but it'd be cool to kind of be a part of that process. And
that was my stomach.
I heard that. And I was like, man. Rich, how are you doing? You got on the scale yesterday at the house or this morning?
Today, yeah. I'm down 5 pounds.
Come on.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's progress, but slow progress. So I know at some point I'm gonna have to add exercise, but
well, that's what I was about to say. That's with just diet.
That's just
not
dieting.
Even,
So I've got to figure out something, which me and Adriana, my daughter, we're talking about going in together and buying one of them recumbent bikes.
Yeah.
The ones you sit down and pedal.
And I know we poke at you a lot, but
all the time.
But yeah, but it's out of love.
Sure.
We want you to be healthy.
As do I.
If you wouldn't mind sharing, so what are you at now? Weight wise,
313.
Now, what's the heaviest you've?
The heaviest I've been
318
was that's where I started.
Okay, and that's the heaviest you've ever been. Is kind of okay.
Yeah, 318 is my max, and I told, and it's so funny. It's not funny, but I told somebody, I guess it was a couple years ago, I was joking with somebody, and I was like, if I ever hit 300 pounds, just shoot me.
Yeah.
And now I'm over 300 pounds.
Right.
So
that's what we were talking about this morning. As you said, it's just seeing that 3 at the beginning is just like, that's got to change.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to just watch what I got, not eating sugars. I
know that's been like, you've been really good at that because it's been a lot around and you've just, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I've been
so showing your self-control around that, shows that you really you can do this.
Yeah. We've got vacation coming up next week though, going to Branson. So I'm kind of worried about that.
Well, the good thing is when you do stuff like this and you've been at it for quite a while, it starts to become not necessarily second nature, but it starts to become a routine in your mind to where you don't have to put forth the effort, energy to think about it. You just naturally do.
And that is happening. Like at a restaurant, I will look at the menu for the items that I need to eat, which I had a taco salad a while ago, but I haven't eaten since yesterday at lunch. So, but I've noticed that I've started doing that. When we sit down at a restaurant or something, I will look for the healthier options instead of just going straight to like we had Domino's. I ate 2 pieces of pizza, couple of the Parmesan garlic bites, and 1 little piece of stuffed bread.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And that's a big deal,
Well, considering I would eat a pizza before.
Right. Yeah. That's a big deal. And to be able to do that, man, even though right now the pounds may not be coming off as much as you like that's a huge deal and you're doing good.
It feels awesome.
Yeah, you're doing great, man.
Thank you.
For me, it's like something else I want to add is into my, challenge is more water. I've realized I go days without drinking just plain water.
Liv challenged herself to do that, and she's been drinking water 99% of the time for like the last 2-3 months.
Yeah. Right. It changes everything, man. You get more energy. You feel better. You sleep better. It's just everything.
And you wouldn't think that it would. You would not think, and we've talked about that before when you diet, that you don't think about what you drink. Yeah. But like the lemonades and sodas,
all that
and
sugar,
juices, and all that stuff, they're loaded with sugar.
Jamie had to call me out. Casey's lemonade, man, they're so good. So they were like 2 for $3.50, and I would get like 2 every other day. And one day she looked at the back of it and she said, "Do you realize how much sugar is in this?"
Right.
It was like 75 grams of sugar per bottle. I was knocking out 2 of them.
That's a lot of sugar.
Like 150 grams of sugar is like crazy. Yeah. So, needless to say, no more of those.
Had to cut those out.
Yeah, I had to get those out of my life.
And I have been using coffee as a meal replacement in the mornings. I don't eat breakfast. I just drink a coffee. And that's been working really well, even though there is some sugar in coffee. Yeah. It's a meal replacement. So,
man, as much as I love coffee, I wish I could do black coffee. Yeah. Tyler, I know this isn't your.
Can't do black coffee either.
I just don't like the taste of coffee.
See, I love the taste, but just black coffee is a little bit too much. I have to have something in it.
I've tried I tried quite a bit in college because I remember there was one time I was like, I'm a college student that doesn't drink coffee. I've got to at least try it. And I tried it, and yeah.
Not for you.
No, I didn't like the taste.
I feel you. I got Layla into coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Now she loves it. Yeah, she never drank it until she started college. And
well, she's in Kansas City. There's tons of places.
She had one on campus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that. You have a campus coffee shop.
Campus coffee shop. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. That's funny. Anything else on y'all's heart? We already talked about That's What's Up last episode. Anything new on That's What's Up?
No. I'm up to 9 shows that we're rotating.
What?
Yeah. So
What?
Stay with me. So, I talked to you about I talked to you about I wish there was a way to like centralize what we watch, right?
Yeah, and like
there is.
Yep.
On Roku, it's you save everything to your what to watch list. Yep. So we went through and we saved everything that we're watching. And I went through the other day and I counted them. There was 9 shows that we're rotating.
Oh, there's no way.
Yeah. So I'm confused as to who's getting voted off American Idol, who's getting extracted.
Do you ever juggle the same show, different seasons?
No.
And then forget like we watch certain shows, Project Runway, so they have different seasons with different people,
right?
And we'll be watching like half of one, and then oh man, we like season 8, and then we'll go to season 8, and then I'm forgetting who's still on, and I'm like, hey, where's Josh at? And she's like, babe, that was the other season. I'm like, oh.
So the other day I was watching Will Trent, which is an amazing show, by the way, but I was watching it and I was like, this looks familiar. So I keep watching. I'm on season 3.
Yeah.
So I keep watching all the way through, and I was like, I've seen that episode. It was the season finale for season 1.
I know. Yep, I have seen that. Okay.
Well, then I went and watched the new episode that I was trying to watch in the first place.
That's fun. Yeah, that's where we get at with.
My thing with, like, we're watching The Rookie. My thing
I have not started the new season yet.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I was trying to remember, like, off the top of my head, like, what's happening. Yeah, it's pretty good. And it seems to only, because Hulu, they put like new episodes out like the week after they
after they're live or whatever. Yeah.
Which I don't know if it was like just this past week and they didn't have an episode, but there's been times like we watched Rookie on there, we watched SWAT, watched a few different shows on there, and it would be like 3 weeks until they put the new episode on.
Shame on you, Hulu.
Yeah.
Just disappointing.
Yeah.
That's ineffective communication.
Yeah, it is. That's terrible.
Hugely ineffective.
You ever get in a show hole?
Oh, yeah.
When the show's over and you're just like, now what?
That's how I felt with Suits. That is 100% how I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
I don't cry. I wanted to cry.
Coming up.
Yeah.
That's why I felt when One Tree Hill was over.
Yes.
Because not only because of the show, but because of how much fun we had hanging out and watching it. It was like, well, crap.
Like, that was
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
But now what do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we started playing Mario Kart, and I don't want to do that.
We need to do that again.
No, we don't.
We haven't played that in a
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'm bad at it, so I don't want to play.
I feel like we kind of replaced it with Jackbox.
Yes, that's true. It's so fun.
Yeah.
My stomach was hurting. It was hurting. It was so good.
Oh, yeah, it gets painful.
So good. Well, I sure love y'all.
Love you back.
We got to watch Suits.
Yeah, we still got to catch up.
Hey, listeners, we just want to thank you for your continued support for the Almost Brothers podcast. Do us a favor and go to your favorite platform and rate us and like us and share with everyone that you know. Thank you so much. Love you.